Welcome to GoGo's Proactive Testing Reusable Design, More and Better Tests Quicker. My name is Robin Goldsmith, and I'm with GoPro Management Incorporated. I'm going to be your instructor for this course and the subsequent modules. Okay? And just to give you a little bit of heads up, proactive testing is a trademark of GoPro Management Incorporated, okay, which is my firm. And we'll be referring in the course a little bit later to my book, Discovering Real Business Requirements for Software Project Success, where we discuss a number of the proactive testing techniques that relate to detecting requirements errors and requirements defects. So let me tell you a little bit about this course. Okay. First of all, we're going to talk about proactive testing, what it is, and specifically the part of proactive testing that deals with test design techniques. Okay. And we're going to be using test design in some ways that you may be familiar with, but we're also probably going to be using it in some ways that you're not familiar with. Test design is the way that we identify the test cases that we're going to use or that we need. When we get proactive, we use some powerful additional techniques that help us identify many ordinarily overlooked conditions for which we need test cases. Okay? And that's a very powerful thing. Okay? So we want to give confidence that the software works. We test to identify what we need to demonstrate to be confident that it works. Okay? And that guides our proactive testing test design. Proactive testing is a truly agile technique, but it's one that the agile community doesn't know about. In fact, I like to say that proactive testing puts agile development on steroids. Because what we do is we capture test conditions in a very economical manner and in an efficient manner, and then we get greater economies and efficiencies because we can reuse those test designs. Another important part of this course is that having reusable test designs essentially makes you an instant testing expert. You know immediately what you need to demonstrate to be confident that something works. You know what the choices are. And because of that, you not only can quickly catch more defects, you in fact can enable the prevention of more defects. Because when we get proactive, test design is not simply an obstacle to progress, but rather helps the progress. Helps developers develop faster, better, and cheaper. Okay? It's not just the testing that improves, it's also the development. Okay? So our objectives, what we want you to be able to go away from this with, is that we want you to be able to apply these various powerful, special, proactive testing techniques. The ones that we're concerned about especially are the ones involved in test design. Okay? Our related course deals with test planning and test management. Here we're getting down into the detail. Okay? Applying test design techniques that help you identify much more thoroughly the test cases that are needed to give confidence that the system or software works. And when you become more thorough, these proactive testing powerful techniques help you identify many ordinarily overlooked test conditions. We want you to be able to capture this information in reusable test design specifications. Okay? And they give you the ability to be very economical and leverage multiple test cases so that you can manage an individual reusable test design specification that in turn leverages multiple test cases. It's far more economical to manage one test design specification that brings along with it, say, 50 test cases, than it is to try to manage 50 individual test cases. Okay? And to use those reusable test designs to enable you very quickly, essentially in minimal time and minimal effort, to very quickly and very reliably and more accurately than you're accustomed to identify and selectively execute the set of tests that indeed exercise and give us confidence that the highest risks have been addressed. And not only that we address the highest risks more, but because we're being proactive, we have the opportunity to address the higher risks earlier so we can catch problems when they are easier to fix. I think you'll agree that these are all very, very important and valuable benefits of improving your testing. Okay? Prerequisites for this course: basically just familiarity with the software development process. We're not assuming that you have any particular testing knowledge or development knowledge. Okay? We're assuming you have knowledge, but we don't expect that it's anything in particular. So the modules that we're going to be dealing with in this course, first of all, we're going to be discussing what proactive testing means. We're going to be describing the overall testing process and where test design fits within that. We use the term test design in two ways: as a verb, meaning the act of designing tests, and as a noun, meaning the document that captures those tests. So we're going to start by looking at test design as a noun, the test design specification that many of you are probably not familiar with, that provides such greater added benefits. We're going to see how test design can be reused and how that provides value. We're going to look at how we go about designing black box tests, black box or functional tests, and reusable test designs are a form of black box testing. And we're going to describe a structured approach that I don't think you'll find elsewhere. Going to use a powerful tool called Functionality Matrix, which helps us identify the set of test designs that we need in order to give us confidence that something, a particular application or feature or function, works. And then we're going to start using a variety of techniques to help us expand that several of those test designs and design our tests more thoroughly. We're going to start with brainstorming, and then we're going to supplement that with various guidelines and checklists. And we will further enhance those test designs with additional guidelines and checklists. Okay? We'll see how designing tests also can be improved by learning to look outside the box. Outside the box includes identifying issues in requirements and designs, but identifying them from the perspective of dynamic testing test design as opposed to static testing, reviews, and inspections. Okay? We'll go further as to how to enhance those test designs using additional techniques, concepts, checklists, and guidelines. And then we will see how this information gets captured in a test design specification. And we'll see that we have both informal and formal test design specifications. We'll look at the strengths of each, the issues with each, how they relate to each other. We'll see how, using test design specifications, that in fact we've got several different types of test design specifications. That we have atomic test design specifications and we have business function test design specifications of varying degrees of complexity. And that we can use test design specifications, among other things, reusable test design specifications, small ones, to incorporate within the larger, more complex test design specifications. And the net effect is that we can assemble or build more complex business function test design specifications quicker and easier. We'll see how we use reusable test design specifications to specify and reuse test cases, and we'll examine aspects of test cases then that are not specifically dependent upon test design specifications, except that the test design specifications help us be more thorough in identifying what test cases we need. But we'll also see those parts of test cases that are easier to reuse, better candidates for reuse, and those parts that are perhaps not so reusable. And we'll examine some test case formatting issues where you can use your time and efforts much more productively. And then we'll finish up by seeing how reusable test design specifications can considerably enhance your ability to automate test execution, and that we can use them in a variety of ways to enhance automated test execution scripts, okay, and to make the scripts easier to develop. And we get bigger payoff by using them to structure data-driven tests. And the biggest payoff is in facilitating the use of action word tests, where action word tests often concentrate on the technology, whereas the reusable test design specifications enable the action word tests to concentrate on the content, the what must be delivered or must be demonstrated to be confident that it works. So that's how we're heading. This class is not alone. We have other classes. We have a sister class called proactive testing, risk-based planning. Okay? The proactive testing, risk-based planning test deals with issues of managing the testing process. And by the way, we have related courses that deal specifically with managing the testing process, measuring and improving the testing process, managing testing as a project. Okay? These are all valuable techniques, and related to that is estimating and controlling your testing. So these are on the right are additional courses that I present, okay, that I present in-house. These can be presented at your convenience for your people. It's a very economical way to have everybody hear the same messages together. Okay. This course, as I said, is a sister course to the Proactive Testing Risk-Based Planning course. So the risk-based planning course tends to be dealing with the management of the testing process and the planning, the identification of the large risks. This class on reusable test designs deals with medium-sized risks and converting them into the set of test cases, executable test cases, that are going to deal with the smaller risks. We have additional courses on user acceptance testing, proactive user acceptance testing, which includes related test design and test execution. We have related courses on reviewing requirements and reviewing designs. Okay? And the courses on reviewing requirements really represent the proactive testing portion of how we deal with requirements. And I have a 2-day course called Discovering Real Business Requirements. Okay? And the reviewing requirements has more than 21 ways to review or evaluate whether those requirements that you've discovered are right. The requirements information, as I said, is in line with and consistent with my book, Discovering Real Business Requirements for Software Project Success. So, curriculum path, the proactive testing modules you can find on GoGo now. Some of the others may be on GoGo in the future, but they're all available for presentation in-house at your convenience. In this course, we have a number of exercises. Okay? At the end of practically every module, we assign an exercise that I hope you will do between modules. Okay? So pause your presentation and work on the exercise. I think you will find that doing the exercises will contribute significantly to what you get out of this class. Okay? Those exercises, the written description of them, can be downloaded from the paperclip link. Okay? If you have questions or comments, use the question or comment box, the GoGo question or comment box. And let me encourage you. You are responsible for what you get out of this class. Okay? What you get out of this class is what you learn, not what I teach. If you learn something and don't use it, it's the same as not having learned it. If you are having questions, if things are not clear, don't just keep trudging forward. Ask, seek assistance. That's what I'm here for. I will endeavor to answer your questions. I cannot assure you I will be successful. I can assure you if you don't ask, there's a good chance that I won't answer them. So, good luck. I appreciate your taking this class. Thank you so much. And let's get started and let's have a little fun with proactive testing, reusable design.